Yep, yep. You know, it takes a little while to get up and running. Okay. This is delayed, so I might have had my thumb up, and smile for I don't know how long. If it's awkward, no problem. So I'm looking at Facebook Live and I'm looking at my OBS software. Anyway, pow! It's your boy. I'm in the building. Not completely geeked up yet. I did have one cup of coffee. Uh, nice little breakfast. And some of you saw I put a little something on a little live stream on this morning, and just caught up on some of the news, updates, and stories while we were sleeping. But yeah, ran a couple errands. Believe it or not, did actually a lot before 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this morning. So yeah, wanted to come in, check in with you guys. Yeah, as you see in the title, we're gonna be, as I typically do, right about this. What's the phrase? Uh, See, I need more coffee. Like we always do about this time, update the folks on the chaos. Most specifically, how the military and the police, they're sick and tired of y'all's ish. And you know me, I'm being, a little comedianic, but I don't take this all as a joke. But seriously, last night was a little different in the response. We saw military vehicles, military police, state police, city police, in full riot gear, and unlike the first few nights, they were insisting that people get off the streets and go home by way of. Well, I'm just going to show you, but yeah, it went down last night. Some of you guys already saw. I've actually saw your page where you posted some things about last night. Some of which um, on the front lines in their respective cities. Others like myself, something like a neighborhood journalist watching, keeping watch, trying to see what's going on. Shout out to the folks in my area. We did have a small protest, peaceful protest here in Aiken, South Carolina. I saw some posts about that. Saw actually a couple pictures of some police officers, some Aiken police actually holding signs saying "End police brutality." What do you guys think about that? I think that was pretty dope. I've been seeing a few different stories around the country about that, where there's one sheriff who actually he put down his weapons and joined the crowd in the march, in the protest. That's cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I got to say about that. I think it's cool. I think cities like that, towns like ours, where there's not a lot of high tension between the citizens and the police. I do think it's cool that the police make a show, or a sign of peace, a gesture of peace, a solidarity kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, enough of all that peaceful police protesting with the protester stuff. I'm gonna show you the tanks. A tanker truck plowed through. Some of you may have already seen that. Saw the video footage or a news story. If not, I'm about to play it for you. So sit tight. Yes, a tanker went plowing through like an 18 wheeler. They ended up dragging the man out of the car. I'm sorry, out of the truck, shirtless. They didn't kill him. They held him down till the police got there. He did have to be taken to the hospital though. You guys may have seen the White House reports, or news reports about the White House, because of course there's been protesters in front of the White House and in D.C. for the last several days. Um, President Trump was not forced, but I mean, I'm sure it's just protocol. Obviously, but ended up going to a hidden bunker in the White House, and of course they got that under control. I think they even went to, you talking to Union Mike, fuck the police. Mike, what's up, my brother? You in New York, right? Tell us anything, brother. I'm about to play some clips, but yeah, if you have anything you want to chime in on, let a player know. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get into the to all the crazy ish. Oh, wait a minute. Angry Man God Talk. Give me 1 second. Hit the cash app, baby. Thanks to Patricia. Thanks to Shayla. Thanks to, I don't have it up in front of me. There was one other brother that donated. this weekend. We really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys. All right, here we go. Turn my mic off.
There are scenes of savage violence and chaos across the US as thousands take to the streets protesting the death of George Floyd at the hands of police. This sixth day of demonstrations has been far from peaceful. These pictures are in from New York overnight, showing a police car ramming through a wall of protesters. The rage felt by citizens across the country has now reached the White House, while in Los Angeles a state of emergency has been declared. And in Minneapolis, where George Floyd died, a truck has just been driven into a crowd of protesters packed together on a bridge.
Oh my God, damn. Whoa.
A nation consumed by anger as we go to air with no end to the violence in sight. We have team coverage this morning, beginning with Ashley Mullaney in Minneapolis, where the unrest began. Ash, in recent days, we've seen the violence explode in the evenings. Police are on high alert there for another night of chaos.
Yeah, for a sixth night, and we are seeing demonstrators out here in Minneapolis tonight. It is past the 8 o'clock curfew right now, and we are seeing a heavy police presence. As you can see, there are officers behind me, well, in every direction right now, really. We'll take you over here to the I-35 West Bridge, where there is a large group of officers in riot gear. You can see they're actually running up the hill onto the bridge. They've been very much on the offensive, both last night and tonight, to clear away protesters who are breaching that curfew. As you can see, these are live pictures of the State Patrol unit, supported by the National Guard here on the ground. But certainly there has been a different approach by the police after days of looting, arson and riots in the street here in Minneapolis. Anne?
Ash, are police turning more aggressive in response to the protesters?
Yeah, well, it seems last night we saw a real turning point, Anne, and that was that anyone who stayed past this curfew would feel the wrath of the police, and they unleashed tear gas and flash grenades last night. We've seen the similar scenes down here tonight, and once again, we'll just show you over to how heavily armed these police are. You can see also these vehicles that they've got out here at the moment. We're just keeping an eye on the police moving up, because there have been groups of protesters back over here. We'll just get Cam to come over toward this fuel station here, which is where it seems there is still a small gathering of protesters in the distance there. What we've seen, Anne, is that the situation can go from being really calm to just absolutely explosive in a matter of seconds here.
And Ash, what happened when that truck travelled over the bridge and ploughed into protesters earlier today?
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion, and this was looked like a fuel tanker that drove onto this bridge where we are right now, the I-35 West Bridge, which was packed with thousands of protesters at the time. It looks as though the truck driver has come down that bridge at quite some speed before coming to a halt. We understand that he was pulled out of the vehicle shirtless and held by these protesters until police arrived. He was taken into custody and taken to hospital. It doesn't appear as though any of those protesters were injured, but the police are looking into the motive of that driver and whether this was something deliberate. There is so much tension right across the country right now. Here is where the match was first lit. But what we are seeing amongst all these hellish scenes, though, are also moments of hope across the country. Officers trying to bridge the divide between police and protesters.
Don't think for a second that he represents who these cops are from all over the county and around this nation. We go out there to help people, not do that nonsense. These cops love you.
In law enforcement, we are our own worst enemies many times. We don't call out wrong. We don't call it out and say wrong is wrong. We delay sometimes. In this case, these folks are frustrated. It's a systemic issue.
So another tense night on the streets here in Minneapolis, and once again with the National Guard out in numbers to support police, hoping that this will be a little calmer than last night.
Stay safe, Ash. Thank you very much. Let's bring in Paul Caddick on the ground in Los Angeles. Paul, a curfew is now in effect there. Are people taking any notice of the order?
Good morning, Anne. Yeah, I'm here in Santa Monica, a beachside suburb of Los Angeles, and a curfew has been in effect here for 2.5 hours, but you might be able to tell behind me it's having very little effect at all. What started as a peaceful protest this morning has unfortunately descended into violence and vandalism behind me. That's a surf store that has been looted almost completely. We see cars of people rolling up, people getting out, run into the store, grab things and go. Next door, funnily enough, another business, a Thai restaurant, is trying to board up there where their window has been smashed in. You might be able to see in the windows they've got the Black Lives Matter hashtag there, saying that they support what the protesters have been trying to make their point, demanding justice for George Floyd. As I said, there's a peaceful protest this morning here in Santa Monica involving hundreds of people, and what we are seeing more and more is this distinction between the protesters, the people who are genuinely making their voices heard about issues of racial injustice here in America, and then there are what the LA mayor has called a small group of individuals trying to hijack this moment, trying to hijack this movement and take advantage the people who are keen on destruction rather than justice. So it's the difference between the protesters and the looters. There is very much a distinction here. A curfew was ordered here in Santa Monica when the trouble started. The area was flooded with police. There is basically a blue wall around the CBD, police trying to deal with various situations breaking out. And it's not just here, across greater Los Angeles. We now have problems with shopping centres being attacked and looted in Long Beach. And in downtown Los Angeles, we've just seen video of a police car which looks like it may have run into a protester. And as we've seen a big crowd outside City Hall there. So there's a state of emergency here for Los Angeles. The National Guard is here and all police services are on alert, but they certainly have their work cut out for them. The mayor of Los Angeles saying that, yes, this is a small group of individuals calling for calm and peace and a better way ahead. Here's the mayor from earlier today.
We must not allow any who feast off of chaos, who hunger for division, who want to replace peaceful protest with images of a nation coming apart. We must not let them win.
Powerful words from the city's mayor there, Paul. Even with the curfew, what can we expect to see in the next few hours?
Well, LA is again a city on edge. There are curfews that will cover indeed the entire Los Angeles metropolitan area in place within the next hour or so. The National Guard, local officials all on alert for what more trouble there may be as this city tries to deal with being sympathetic for people who are protesting for Black Lives Matter, for George Floyd, but wary of the destruction that some are taking advantage of in places here like Santa Monica.
Take it easy, Paul. Paul Caddick there in LA. Thank you very much. Let's bring in Amelia Brace now in Washington, D.C., where protesters have encircled the White House. Amelia, there are reports President Trump was taken to an underground bunker as protesters rallied outside the White House.
Yeah, that's right, and that just gives you an idea of the seriousness of the situation here. This is what the White House has looked like for a few days, though, and it's understood that at some point during that period, the situation got so dangerous that the Commander-in-Chief had to be taken to that safe house. Now, we have not seen Donald Trump today. We've not seen him since he was in Florida yesterday. This is very typical of what we're seeing constantly here, actually, and these altercations between protesters and police as they try to push closer to the White House behind me. Police fight back. There was a spray of rubber bullets not long ago. Everyone comes racing down the street and then they slowly work their way back. And that's exactly what we have seen today. And what these people want is to hear from their president. As I said, we've not heard from Donald Trump today other than on Twitter. And there are reports that his staff inside the White House behind me tonight are encouraging him to make a presidential address to speak to the American people. But it's 9:30 p.m. here now on the East Coast and we're yet to hear anything, Anne.
Amelia, is the violence there centred on the White House or also in outer suburbs of Washington?
Very much centred on the White House, and the target here is very clear. The only time today that we've seen it move is when there has been an altercation here with police, where there's been tear gas or there have been rubber bullets, or at one stage when police raised their weapons. And then, as I said, people just run into these surrounding streets, probably only a block or two away from the White House, and it doesn't take long for them to bring their protest back here. In saying that, the mayor here has decided to bring in a curfew here tonight and has also mobilised the National Guard. And I can tell you that the entire area over here, beautiful buildings that we're used to seeing in movies, it's completely trashed. Windows are smashed, there's graffiti everywhere. It's just almost unrecognisable as the Capitol.
Oh, terrible scenes there. Do these crowded demonstrations, do they spark concerns of new outbreaks of coronavirus?
Being in one, you wouldn't think so. And amazingly, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles and Chicago are three places in the United States that aren't quite successfully bending the curve. They are the three particular places that authorities want people to still be social distancing, to still be wearing masks, but that is absolutely not happening. As you can see here, people are packed in. So there are concerns from people that this will potentially see another outbreak in each of those cities, and of course in places like New York.
And what about the protesters? Are they locals? Ash, President Trump has tweeted they're from out of town. Who are these people who are protesting on the streets there?
Here in Washington, D.C., it is obviously difficult to tell. Most of them do appear to be local to the area. D.C. is quite an interesting town. It's similar to Canberra in a sense that a lot of people move here to work in the government, so they are quite politically mindful and politically active, and so often we do see protests and things here in D.C. In places like Minneapolis, though, and certain counties in LA, even New York, that is where we are definitely seeing people come from other areas into these towns basically just to cause trouble.
Amelia Brace, live in Washington, D.C. Look after yourself, Amelia. Thank you very much. Well, the protests have gone global, with chaos breaking out in cities around the world. These pictures are from London. They show demonstrators facing off against police outside the American embassy. Crowds also came together at Trafalgar Square before marching toward Downing Street. There were also powerful scenes in Germany. Thousands of protesters came together next to the famous Brandenburg Gate, holding up signs that read, "Justice for George Floyd." In other news today...
Wow. I actually didn't know that. I like to kind of screen my videos. If it's a long video like that one was, I'll watch the first 5-6 minutes. I did not know or get to the part that London and other cities and countries around the world are participating and rolling up at U.S. embassies. That's neat. That's interesting. Wow. What do you guys think about that? That's something. That's something. Checking back in, I saw a few of you guys while we were broadcasting some of this updated news. Checked in. Good to see you guys. Thank you for checking in. Just you know how I do, guys. In general, as with my podcast and the live streams, Angry Man God Talk, we like to put our loving arms of protection around those of us in society who are angry or who might, be frustrated with life. And typically I'll have somebody on that I talk to that of a spiritual realm that can help us unpack a lot of our issues. During this particular time, though, because a part of our goal is to inform. We like to inform, and put information out, especially information that pertains to us and our societies and our various communities. And, with the hope of, uplift at the end. And I'm not being pessimistic, just saying that right now we're in the informing process. I totally believe and know, my spiritual mind kind of knows that there will be a brighter day, the light at the end of the tunnel, the uplift side. But I feel like in order to even get there, we have to be honest and integral about what we see and what we accept as truth that's in front of us. So, as I say before or during a lot of my just random kind of just posting up of information, right now my goal is to inform you guys, especially those who maybe are not glued to the CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or whatever it is that you like. And then what I've also noticed is that which I don't have an issue with. A lot of mainstream news outlets will go with the flow of what the government needs them to do, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to make them out to be puppets. It's just that they're a part of society. And if, you know, if our president, if our leaders need the citizens to know, you know, that, hey, we got some good stuff going on too. We got some peaceful things going on too. Because this morning I saw a little mix of both. I've seen obviously more chaos, ramped up chaos, especially because in some cities, particularly Minneapolis, military police, state police have upped the ante as far as the phrase goes in the response. I don't believe deadly force was used, but force was definitely used. And I'm actually going to show some clips here in a little bit, just some random posts from the last couple nights of rioting where National Guard and, like I said, police, they're together, and they're not taking that ish no more. But anyway, yeah, guys, I hope you all are well. I hope your health is intact and your maintenance and everything, and particularly your spiritual health, because you know, as much as I advocate for holding your eyes open and looking at the train wreck, because we live here and this is our train wreck, you gotta look. I mean, you don't have to. You can close your eyes and not be a part of whatever potential change and solution, because you don't even know what's going on. But as much as I do advocate for that, I do advocate for prayer. You know, I'm definitely guilty of waking up and immediately going to my phone, especially because I'm trying to see, like, what did I miss? What's going on? But this morning and yesterday morning, first thing I did was do a little 2-3 minute prayer. Whatever it is that you know, do or did before all this chaos, try to get back to that. It's important to start your day off, whatever your routine is. A glass of water, get the metabolism going, you know what I mean? Take a walk around the park or around your neighborhood, pray, meditate, do some yoga, just sit in the backyard, sipping on a cup of coffee while it's still nice and cool outside under the tree. Because again, I do advocate and I do support the idea that it is important for us to be in tune and informed. But breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just like I tell my voice students, in through your nose, out through thy mouth. Get the oxygen, proper oxygen flow to the brain, all that good stuff. All right, guys, enough of that calm stuff. Let's get back to the BS. No, I'm kind of joking around. Actually, yeah, for real though. Anybody, I'm going back to the chat here. Hit me up if you have a story or if you have a testimony or if you just want to, you know, I don't know, say what's on your mind before I play this next video. Who's on the live? Mike is about the only one that's actually said something. I've seen a few of you jump on. That's cool. Just watching. No big deal. No big deal. I'm with it. All right. Yeah, they tired of y'all stuff, guys. I'm actually going to go to my Facebook page. Drive-by. They're not playing with y'all.
Leave him alone! No, what the fuck? Leave him alone! Go, get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Back up!
Get out of here!
She's walking away!
We got plenty of time here.
Are you okay?
For no reason. Ski.
Katie, are you okay?
You can't fucking do that! Get the fuck on! man, what the fuck you gonna do about it?
He's not doing anything. Peaceful protest.
Get the fuck out. Go. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking leave it.
So, I know you guys see me. I just feel like I'm so far. I know you guys see me using these products and talking about these products, but I want to talk about the business side of it right now. I'm a little too far. So a few weeks ago, like everybody, when this whole pandemic started, I got caught with my pants down. And I had just spent a crazy amount of money the past months prior to that. And I got caught with my pants down. And as my money started to dwindle down, and I wasn't working or getting any stimulus or any government help or anything, no unemployment, I seen my money getting low, and the reality of life was starting to really sink in. Like, oh shit, you know, I got bills that are not stopping, you know what I'm saying, and rent and, you know, shit that I gotta pay. I gotta be able to go food shopping. What am I gonna do? So, you know, thankfully I...
Thank you, Steph. That's one of my Facebook friends. I was actually, that last video came from her page, so that's why I guess after it ended, it automatically went to her page. Yeah, Steph Michaels, you know, check her out. She's a fellow musician. We all been kind of sitting still since all this Corona stuff, as far as gigs and performances. But yeah, she got a little YouTube page, got little skits and stuff like that. Check her out. But yeah, guys, so there you have it, man. I should have did a little language disclaimer before that. I think most of you guys know that if I'm going to show some chaos, especially pertaining to these riots, that it's going to be, you're going to catch some people in the background saying some choice words. But yeah, I heard that I don't know if it's a press conference that's going to take place. If anybody on the live has any word, I think President Trump is going to speak or just spoke, or it's kind of hard for me to do this and look at like live kind of stuff going on. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. As I said before, I played the last video. I hope that you're staying prayed up, and that, you know, even though I think it's important to absolutely stay abreast of what's going on, and you know, I like my analogy, you know, force yourself to watch the train wreck. Take care of yourself. Do some yoga, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, get a little exercise, watch something funny, or hang out with some, you know, go pet your dog for at least 15 minutes in the backyard, stuff like that. But yeah, just so you know, got to keep your armor strong, and because I'm going to get back to the BS. I'm just advising you to, you know, take a breather, drink some Gatorade or something, you know, get straight. All right, guys, let me go back to this other story, because I broke the videos up because I felt it was important to show that new stuff.
Australia is taking a major step out of the COVID-19 shutdown, with several states rolling...
With Ann Sanders.
Good morning. There are scenes of savage violence and chaos across the US as thousands take to the streets protesting the death of George Floyd at the hands of police. This sixth day of demonstrations has been far from peaceful. These pictures are in from New York overnight, showing a police car ramming through a wall of protesters. The rage felt by citizens across the country has now reached the White House, while in Los Angeles a state of emergency has been declared. And in Minneapolis, where George Floyd died, a truck has just been driven into a crowd of protesters packed together on a bridge.
Oh my God, damn. Whoa.
A nation consumed by anger as we go to air with no end to the violence in sight. We have team coverage this morning, beginning with Ashley Mullaney in Minneapolis, where the unrest began. Ash, in recent days, we've seen the violence explode in the evenings. Police are on high alert there for another night of chaos.
Yeah, for a sixth night, and we are seeing demonstrators out here in Minneapolis tonight. It is past the 8 o'clock curfew right now, and we are seeing a heavy police presence. As you can see, there are officers behind me.
Apologies, ladies and gents. I put this on and went and left the room, but I thought my next video on my playlist was going to play. Forgive me. No, but I got it. So this is coming out of Atlanta. We got two officers that were recently fired because of their mishandling of arresting two college student protesters. So here we go.
And new developments now.
ATL got loose this weekend too now. I saw somebody post something in Broward. I lived in Broward for I lived in South Florida for a couple decades, but I saw somebody say, man, Minneapolis and other cities got us looking soft. I don't like that. Now that was supposed to be funny, but then like 2 hours later, I hear Broward County and Bayside is going down in Miami downtown, and they're shutting it down and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is Atlanta. An update on some officers who apparently were caught on video really mishandling the situation.
And new developments now in the tasing and viral arrest of two Atlanta college students. Their arrests garnering national attention. It happened Saturday night during the protests. Police officers could be seen pulling the young man and woman out of a car. Those arrests costing two Atlanta police officers their jobs. Liza Lucas is live at her home in Fulton County. And Liza, we heard from Atlanta's mayor and police chief. They say the firings really came down to that police body cam video. And many people online have some mixed reactions to all of this.
That's right. We've been going through hundreds of comments that many of you left on our 11 Alive Facebook page in response to the firing of those officers. And I have to say there are a big majority are in support of the swift action taken by the mayor as well as Chief Shields. Now, the mayor and Chief Shields called the video shocking. They apologized, and then they released the body cam video, which we are going to show you now, and want to warn you, some of you may find it to be disturbing. Now, this all occurred around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday night. The driver, Messiah Young, was trying to record video of someone under arrest. An officer asked the Morehouse College student to drive away and then get out of the car. He keeps going, and Officer Ivory Streeter catches up with him. Another officer then starts hitting the car window with a baton. Other officers surround the passenger side, asking Spelman student Tanea Pilgrim to get out. Now, Officer Mark Garner then deploys his taser. On the other side of the car, officers think Young is reaching for a gun. Officer Streeter fires off his taser, shocking Young, who has no weapon. Now, Mayor Bottoms and Chief Shields again reviewed the footage. They determined the two officers must be terminated immediately.
As we watch the video today, it became abundantly clear immediately with the young woman that this force was excessive.
These are good guys. I know them as individuals. I've worked with the one for over 20 years. But they made that level of mistake that cannot be rolled back.
So let's get to the response on our 11 Alive Facebook page right now. And you can see those that are in support of that swift action. That includes Eileen right there. Adrian, she actually writes in, like it or not, law enforcement should be held to a higher standard because of the power they hold. In this current climate, all eyes are on them. But we have also seen support coming in from the officers. You can see that hashtag Morning Rush ATL. Linda weighing in, asking for their firing to be reconsidered. Now, some of you asking about charges, and Chief Shields says she's going to leave that up to the solicitor and attorney general to make that determination going forward. We also should say that 3 other officers were placed on desk duty pending further investigation. Guys?
Based on the responses from the mayor and police chief Erica Shields, it seems to me they understood that it was important to act quickly in this case when emotions are already running so high.
So there you have it, guys. Just went down. Well, it's been going down all weekend in Atlanta. So that was I had seen. I mean, I seen so much footage from Oakland, from L.A. I think Santa Monica, even the snooty part of town. They had some very peaceful protests. Those protesters were allowed to get this close to the face of the cops, and they were just like, "All right, now get on out of here, stop playing." But Atlanta, it went down in Atlanta, and so as we just saw, for those of you who were not already informed about those two college girls who were tased and manhandled and pulled out of their vehicles, as you just saw the news story, and Mayor Keisha Bottoms of Atlanta. Well, she didn't say that there were going to be charges, but they did get fired, and they are doing an investigation. And so, man, you just never know during these chaotic times, what new news and updates we're going to get. But if you're just joining us, this is the Angry Man God Talk Live. I'm your host, Brother David. Just informing, guys. As always, I like to inform, put the truth on the table, and have the parties kind of mix it up and come to some sort of spiritual uplifting conclusion. Now, we're not there yet. So I just want to remind those people that are chiming in and joining my lives to understand that, yes, that is a part of our goal. But right now, we're just in the informing process, holding our eyes open when we don't want to sometimes, to watch the train wreck, because that is important and essential to our growth and evolution, if that is a part of your intention. I think some people do just fine with settling in life and just kind of, hey, I don't want no parts of the negativity. I want to not see the train wreck. That's fine. Everybody has a role, honestly. But during these times, your types should just kind of like get out the way. Watch what you want to watch, cover your eyes, but just let the people that are on a higher path for evolution and really trying to conflict resolution, oriented. We have to see this. We got to see citizens at their wits' end, and who feel like they're on their back. We have to see law enforcement in situations they've never been in, like probably never dreamed they would be in, because overall we're all a part of the system. And even though none of us individually can take full responsibility for racism and the structure that was built around it, and the way things are, people just want to eat, breathe, sleep, try to attain some sort of level of happiness or peace, and provide for their families. I think all of us want to do that. So, but again, if we are talking about looking realistically at what our country is up against, then again, those of us who have the stomach for it and the resilience for it, hunker down, drink lots of water. As I said before the last video, take care of your maintenance. Pray, drink your water, take your walks, go out, be with your loved ones and your animals and that kind of thing, and then kind of get back on the saddle, if you will. I don't know how long the chaos is going to continue, but we're still a long way away from, looking back at all of this and saying, okay, now what? I think for a lot of people, unfortunately, their only goal is to get things to go back to the way things were. I don't even know if they know what that means. I think, especially those in leadership positions in the city and state and that kind of stuff, they kind of have no choice but to keep it right here. We just got to get this part of the city calm. We got to just get peace. No more violence, no vandalizing of businesses. And I agree with that. Again, that's the surface level, but then after that, then what? So again, I don't have the answers. I'm not here proclaiming that I do. I'm just here to inform. Whatever I come across that I think is riveting, I'm going to show you guys. And so that was Atlanta. Now we're going to go to DC. This is like a live PD. All right now. Well, he's just talking to that guy right now. Okay. We're going to go to Kansas City now. They got somebody in a chokehold. We definitely want to see that. I'm just joking. We're going to, that was Atlanta. Now we're going to go some DC news. As you guys already know from my earlier broadcast, Trump went to a secret location, a bunker, if you will, in the White House, because stuff got real out there in the fair in DC. Chocolate City, y'all. Do not sleep on Chocolate City. Somewhere near the White House.
He's right here.
Back up. You seen Alex? You okay? Are you okay? That's my knee. You okay? Repress! Press! Press! We better get the point. get him. I need him. He ain't do get him. I need him. Okay. Use his helmet. All right, get him. Use his helmet. Okay. Yeah, all right, huh? You good, yeah? Where's the helmet? Where's your tallest guy at? What's up?
Wow, y'all. As you see, it's going down. It's going down. What's happening? This brother David. If you guys are just joining us, this is the Angry Man God Talk Live. I'm just informing. I'm just here putting it out there, guys. Putting it out there. That was all DC. That was all footage for DC. Just like with every city that they have a large presence of policing and the National Guard or military police, state police, that kind of thing. They're getting organized. They're strategizing now. They're actually, quartering off certain blocks to funnel crowds to a certain direction, mainly away from the White House lawn. And of course, you saw some of the footage of the White House lawn where it went down. And yeah, guys, it's crazy. It's crazy out there. If you are in those areas that we were just talking about, Atlanta, DC, and then before that we just showed a random kind of group of videos that represented several different areas of the country, states, cities, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you are in any of these places, guys, please be safe. Please be safe. I'm actually, as I said, that was more than less footage from downtown, surrounding areas of the White House. This is actually some footage that I'm about to show you now from pretty much right outside the White House lawn. So give me 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Hey, don't forget about that Cash App, baby. Angry Man God Talk, everything. Social media platforms, but especially that Cash App. I want to thank the people that gave this weekend. Made a couple dollars, y'all. We love it. We liked it. Thank you for patronizing the business. You're going to help us continue to keep the studio upgraded. I also have like a remote or a mobile studio, if you will, in which I typically go out, use them at my gigs. Use the equipment for my gigs, whether that be live streaming, the photo booth, some photography, videography services, of course, DJing and musicianship. But our podcast as well. We are going out in the streets to not only commune and join with churches and pastors and whatever project or service that they have going on for the community. So, yeah, it's not just me up here talking and showing y'all riot footage. I'm doing a lot of things. Yes, I'm at home more lately. Should be out here slanging Aflac. Hit me up, call me, or inbox me if you are actually interested in health insurance or life insurance. My Aflac side supplemental is the duck. The reason the duck shows up on the commercial with the money in his bill is because we give you the money. It's supplemental. We don't give it to the pharmacist or the doctor. That's the quick pitch. Get on it. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Rewind. It's a gold darn American spring.
Heart rate's 120, BP's 140/90. Hectic first day, but earning my nursing degree online gave me the flexibility to fit school into my life and prepare for situations like this.
Own Day One, Purdue University Global.
It is 7:34. Time for the 7:34. I'm Jay.
He's too happy for my liking. What you smiling about, brother? Your city's being burned down. Yeah.
Running so high, and then you see video like that. I think they knew that they.
Forgive me, guys. All right, let me bring it on back. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right now, just because I gotta go. Gotta handle some business. I gotta do. Today's the first. I gotta do payroll for my little staff. So I should have did it on Friday. Don't worry about it. Anyway, yeah, you guys take it easy. Seriously, be safe. Prayed up. Whatever you do for your spirituality, that's very important, guys, because these are very trying and tumultuous times. And even I, who I think I have a very high tolerance for seeing real trauma and or dealing with it, or whatever you want to say. I think I always tell people, had I not gotten a scholarship for school in music, I would have maybe gone into psychology. I've always been interested in, why people do or don't do what they do, nature and nurture, and how we respond when our back's against the wall, or when we view it as on the ground, rock bottom, or whatever the case is. So anyway, yeah, it can get exhausting. It can be overwhelming. Yeah, take care of yourself. Honestly, whatever that means. So yeah, you know me, guys. I'm gonna handle some business. I might be back in a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, especially if there's any kind of breaking news. Like I said before, I think I may have heard that Trump might be doing some sort of official press conference, or talking about and addressing the issues that plague our country. Until next time, guys, Godspeed. Thank you for checking in and watching with me. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Cut it, hey, cut it, hey, cut it, hey, yay. Okay. You niggas that are writing need to cut it. Stop streaming, stop recording.